so important to reward yourself. It's so important to have a goal. Great, we're all having goals, whether it's marathon in the future, 5K in 4 weeks' time, 10K in a couple of months' time, whatever it might be, it's great. But have something to reward yourself, because you're ticking off on a daily basis, and it is a daily basis. You're ticking off your easy runs, your recovery runs, your interval sessions, your long runs. You have to have something to look forward to as well. And hopefully it does become the running that you're looking forward to. For me, certainly, it is the running, it's the process, the systems I have in place to do the running, to do the cycling, to do the strength work. I love it all. So it's all a reward for me. But if you, on top of that, you give yourself a reward. We used to do something great in a recruitment company. I was working with a global recruitment company, but I was based in the Manchester office. We used to have targets on a daily basis, a weekly basis, a monthly basis, quarterly basis. And then every year, if you hit your target for the quarter, you'd go skiing, and that would be the first target. If you hit your target for the summer target, you would go to Ibiza. And then if you hit your target for the big target, the end of year target, which was the biggest sum target, you would go to Las Vegas. And this was a target you would be competing with everybody in your office, everybody in the region, but also every single office in that we had in the world. And so on those holidays, Ibiza, skiing, and Las Vegas, the important one, you'd be around people that had also hit target. So you'd be surrounded by the successful people in the company, and that would be maybe of 1,500 consultants, that'd be only maybe 30 people. So it's the top 2%. And so with that comes obviously the status that you're aiming for. And as a young kid in a recruitment office, you're aiming for status. You want that power. You want the money, and you want the salary and the commission as well. But you want that status. You want people to know that you're doing great, and that doesn't change. And that company was so successful because they understood that on a daily basis, yes, you need to be hitting your small targets, your KPIs. Then on your weekly target, you need to be hitting that weekly target, and then the monthly target, that's super important. So you'd go to lunch club if you hit your target, and then you'd be surrounded by everybody from the region or the office who'd hit their target. And you'd swap stories, and you'd get to know who was regularly there on a monthly basis. But it was at the holiday targets where you saw from the whole company, okay, who's the guy in the Amsterdam office or the New York office who's constantly hitting his or her target, you know? And with that, I think that they built something brilliant, because you wanted to be at those holidays, but it was also a great place for you to spend lots of money, so that you'd start the year again. If you go to Vegas, obviously you're going to be gambling a lot of money. Then you start January again, broke, and you're really motivated and incentivized to go again. So there's nothing that motivates you more than an empty bank account, we used to say. But with running, it's exactly the same. If you've, for me, rather than run the Manchester Marathon or the London Marathon, which are both great, and you're gonna have a great experience, why not book Barcelona Marathon? Why not book Seville Marathon or Valencia Marathon? Why not book something in Italy where you can enjoy the marathon, work really hard, and then afterwards reward yourself? You know, take your partner, take your family, and enjoy a week in different parts. You know, if you run Florence Marathon, which is absolutely beautiful, you're going to get there a few days before. You're going to really want to view the city. Obviously, don't make that mistake and go sightseeing for the first 2 or 3 days. And I've walked 55,000 million steps before the marathon and be super tired. You want to do all the sightseeing afterwards, to see Florence afterwards, and then go to the coast and go on a beach holiday afterwards. And I think if you have that combined into your running target, it does a few things for you. It's gonna incentivize you even more. You want to really work hard, you want to hit your target, and then you want to, you know, celebrate your holiday, which is great. And you've given yourself that time to celebrate, to reward yourself, but you're also rewarding your family or your partner with the sacrifices that you're taking to go out and run in early in the morning or late at night. your partner's not with you or whatever it might be, you're also giving them a reward and they're kind of getting invested, and then they might get started in running. It often happens because they get to see the buzz around the marathon. There's nothing like, if you have any kind of bad thoughts about humanity right now, and it's very easy to do so, go and watch a marathon, because the level of support that people give each other, the level of whether you're running first and you're trying to get on the podium, or whether you're coming last and you're just trying to finish before the cut-off time, it's incredibly a supportive environment. So that's brilliant. And I think also at the same time, what you do is like things like this, you know, at the end of the month, if I've hit my targets and we've hit our targets as a company, we come away. It's a time also, I think this is different to the time that I worked in recruitment. Essentially it's a lunch club, but it's away for the week. We go away for the weekend. It's a time to celebrate. It's a time to celebrate that we've achieved what we set out to do. But more importantly than that, now, for me, and this might be for the whole team, but certainly for me, and we do this, it's a time to reflect. So it's like, okay, so what were the targets? And what did we do? And how did we do it? And what was good and what can be improved upon? And then what can we do differently next month so we're even better next month? Because you've got to be moving forward. You've got to be constantly moving forward. And that's what makes it exciting and interesting for you. If you constantly feel as if you're progressing, if you're improving, you're going to keep interested, keep excited, and keep doing what you're doing. If you're aiming next month to do exactly the same, or next year to do exactly the same as you did this year or this month, it's not going to be as interesting. Just to maintain, there's an art in that itself. If you think about the top basketballers or the top footballers in the world, there's an art in being great after 15 years, after 20 years, because they're not constantly improving their whole career. Just to maintain when you're 35, 40 years old is absolutely mesmerizing. So it's a point to reflect. So you can always improve. There's always something that you can improve upon, and that will affect your, not only what you're setting out to do and your targets for next month, but who you are on a daily basis. And it all comes back to who you identify as a person. And that's not getting into all the nonsense that's going on in the morning at the moment, but who you identify as. Am I the person that's going to absolutely smash lunch club for next month and come away again on a celebratory holiday and be able to reflect and get even better for the month afterwards? Or am I happy kind of not hitting that target and missing that target and being part of the group that doesn't make it here? So yeah, I just want to share that with you, because I think if you're constantly setting yourself targets on a short, medium and long-term basis, something as big as the marathon, it's a big target, and then you'll hit this kind of, okay, am I going to hit it? Am I not going to hit it? You hit it, and then there's a drop off afterwards. You feel like, whoa, there's an element of disappointment because it's not all you set it off for. You might be elated, you know. I've been in both situations. But if you can reflect upon that and think about what you can do next time, makes it, it's much more, it's equally as important as the goal setting. If you can reflect on what you're doing and then get even better for next time, you're going to go much further. If you're constantly in a state of self-analysis, what did I do in that session? How can I do that session better next week? What did I do in that long run? Why was it so difficult? Okay, I need to take more gels next week. If you're constantly in the improvement phase, which you should be, if you're running and you're doing something as repetitive as running, you can really go far in a short space of time.